For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.games4all.podcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out hostgator.com. Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 58. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie, and we are joined by the gorgeous
Michelle Barry.
Hey.
So, welcome again, Michelle. This is the second time you've been on the show. You are our production assistant. You help us out. We've mentioned you on the show a few times. So you're going to be joining us for the length of the show. We've got tons of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, just a bit.
Let's start with the fan mail that we received this week.
Yeah. We received our first bit of fan mail from the fan from Sudan.
Yep. Sorry, I just dropped something.
That was him.
Yeah.
Abdelgader Omar. He's a big fan of the show. He found us completely by accident, which we love. He sent this email, wicked story, about how he sort of found us and then put us up on his,
stumble upon account. Yeah, well, I think pretty much 90% of the people that listen to us probably...
stumble upon us.
Yeah, by mistake.
Yeah,
you know, we are the podcasting's great mistake. So
that's awesome. That's going on the banner.
Yeah. So no, it's awesome. We in the year that we've been doing the show, we've received very few emails.
Most of them from Chinese men wanting us to.
Whoa.
No. From like doctors and stuff, needing us to contribute to earn lots of money.
We get a lot of cons come our way, but no, we've had a few, but mostly from people we know. So
yeah,
and the emails we had from the Tabasco thing, you know, that was all for that. But it's great to get fan mail. It's great that we've received some, and want to thank him very much for taking the time to email us. I did reply to him, but he has a bit of a question for us though.
Yeah, he has a request. He says that he doesn't know if we like sort of strategy games on computer, PC.
Yeah.
Right, and if we do, can we talk about them a bit more?
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm a huge fan of like real-time strategy games, stuff like the old Command and Conquers and Civilization, and more recently Dawn of War. But that was when I had a decent PC.
And you really don't.
I really don't now because
it's only just good enough to record on. The show. So.
Yeah, and even then it's fairly vocal about it.
Yeah, indeed.
Can we hear it in the background?
Yeah, you can hear that shit.
Yeah,
now.
If we're quiet now, you can hear it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It'll get louder as the show goes on.
Yeah,
but you're that's the problem. I mean, I'm not into strategy games so much, but I know you are, and it is more a case of not having a PC that's
since way back in secondary school. I was playing I think Warcraft 2 was the first one. It was like the first one that got me into strategy games, and I just played all of them. But I love them. So yeah, I had a few of them on the PC that I loved. Mostly sort of fantasy stuff because that's where I go. But it was like I said, sort of the original Red Faction and all that I liked. But there's not a lot of strategy games on the consoles. It's not one that transfers over well. There've been a few.
Yeah.
There was like recent Command and Conquers and stuff.
Civilizations.
Put
on consoles, yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's maybe been a bit of a stigma with me about it, that because I see those as like PC type of games, so I think automatically coming to a console, it's my inner PC snob.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
Maybe I should give it a go because I do like strategy games and I would like to. So I will be keeping an eye out on strategy games for Abdelgader, and I will talk about it more as I kind of delve into it for him.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, we've been playing a lot of games this week, but before we kick in with that, I'm going to mention... Last week we spoke about our Uncharted 3 beta giveaway.
Yep.
And the idea was that people would email us in with the reasons why they should have the code, and obviously make it as inventive and humorous as possible.
Yeah. In this last week, they've given the official dates of when it starts.
Yep.
It starts for everybody with PlayStation Plus, which is me, is next Tuesday, and I imagine for all these people who have these codes will start the following
week. Yeah. So what we're going to do, because we're not confident that we found the winner yet. Nothing's really stood out to the sort of we've maybe like, I don't know, set ourselves some very high standards. Who knows? But
I am the comedy king after all.
Okay, we are going. If you say that, self-appointed.
Yeah.
So we're going to extend it for another week. In the hope that we do find a really, really top quality reason and basically a winner. So if you've already emailed in, apologies, but you need to try a little harder to impress us.
Yeah.
So we're not being snobs about it, but so we've received a few, but we're kind of hoping that in the next week or so we'll get some slightly better ones. That sounds really bad. Sorry.
Well, some of them have been good. They could just do with a little bit of padding, a little bit of work.
So maybe rethink some stuff. Yeah. So that again, podcast at Games4all.podcast.com. Email us in with a reason why you should have the Uncharted 3 beta code that we've got sat right here in front of us.
And we will mention you on the show and email the code to you.
Indeed.
We'll also...
That'll be next week.
Yeah.
So we've extended it by a week. You've got more time now to,
I'll also send you my profile gamer tag thing on PlayStation Network, so you can meet me on there
kick
and
his ass.
kick my ass.
Awesome.
Because I'm expecting it to be royally handed to me.
Might buy a PS3. Right, anyway, so... also, actually, if you really wanted to, you can do it through Facebook or Twitter. We don't mind. Email's just, easy for us to kind of say email us. But, twitter.com/Games4all, facebook.com/Games4all podcast. The message is on there. You can send in your entry through those methods, and So anyway, that's enough about that. So next week we'll pick a winner, because we don't think the ones we've had so far are quite up to standard. So.
But that's just us.
We're just being picky.
If you sent one and you think it's great, you can argue your case.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Right, so what have we been playing? Let's actually start the show.
Yeah. Should we start with me?
Yeah, you've got quite a bit to talk about. So.
I've been busy.
Yeah, okay.
When we left you last week, I was playing Infamous 2.
Mm-hmm.
I then promptly went on to complete Infamous 2.
Yes.
Fucking awesome.
Cool. So overall, your thoughts? Because it's been out for...
couple of weeks now.
2 weeks now.
Yeah. No, it's really, really good. I think overall I probably prefer the stories and characters of the first game, but everything else, this is a better game. And there's a computer saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
He's agreeing with me. But no, it's kind of better. The environment is better. The interactions with the character development is better. I prefer the way they've handled the moral choices and everything.
Yeah. Especially
towards the end of the game, they really sort of twisted it up and not giving away any spoilers. But I've seen both the endings, even though I only played through one myself. I thought, as I've completed the game, I'll see how it looks the other side, and I looked up online, and they kind of give the impression that it's like the final one.
Right.
But okay, I can't imagine they won't do another one.
Mm.
But there is slight hints that it could continue.
I'm sure it will. It's a pretty big franchise for PS3.
Yeah.
So
anybody who's played through the good ending and seen a little bit at the end will probably know what I mean if they paid really close attention. But
interesting. So overall, worth the buy, worth the purchase.
Oh yeah. No, really happy with it. I think it's probably the best game I've played this year.
Really?
A new game.
Wow.
Out, so.
Awesome.
That's saying something.
Yeah,
Portal 2 and
there's been some real
Mortal Kombat.
Awesome games come out lately. Yeah. So.
Well, this one I actually couldn't put it down.
Really?
Could I?
No, I couldn't get you off it.
That's awesome. That's cool. So it's great. I mean, because obviously I don't have a PS3. I probably would have picked this up and played it had I had one, but
I have a feeling, knowing sort of your types of games and everything, if you still had your PS3, this is one you would have.
Yeah. When I played some last week and spoke about it, and my thoughts with it was pretty cool. So, but you can't gauge an awful lot from that small amount that I played. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed what I saw. Yeah. I hadn't seen much of the first one, so
no.
Well,
obviously, after do that, I had one game that was still left unfinished, which was Assassin's Creed 2.
Even though you finished it already?
Even though I finished it already. I want to try and play through the Assassin's Creed again before Revelations comes out.
You've said this on the show before, so let's not talk about that.
Yeah. But anyway,
I need to finish Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood and blah, blah, blah. But whatever. I've got a stack of 50 games I actually need to finish. So Yeah, it's on that list.
It's hard. I've got quite a few games. I'm trying to prioritise.
Yeah.
Anyway, as soon as I finished that, I had like a choice of 3 games. I could either carry on with Assassin's Creed and start playing Brotherhood.
Okay.
I could play through Batman Arkham Asylum again before Arkham City.
Yeah.
Or play through the Uncharted's.
You made me choose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Couldn't give you an answer.
No.
So what happened then?
Well, I played a little bit of all of them.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I would expect you to do in that situation.
Yeah.
It's called having your cake and eating it. Eating it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played like the first hour and a bit of each one and sort of thought which one I felt more like playing. And I don't know, having done Assassin's Creed 2, I opted for Brotherhood, just kind of carry it on, get it over and done with. I'm really excited about Revelation, so I want to get that through. But the other ones, they are there. As soon as I complete whatever, I'll be moving on and going through that. So I've played quite a lot.
Cool.
This
Yeah.
week.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
So
I'm quite a way. I'm like nearly a third of the way through Brotherhood already.
Jesus.
So I've been playing.
Yeah, I got to play some fucking catch up there. But
Yeah.
Awesome. That's good.
Also, we should mention, it's probably a news story, but we should mention as it is, as of recording this, Sonic the Hedgehog's 20th birthday.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah, no,
First
no,
game,
yeah,
when it
I
first
know.
came
No,
out.
don't get me wrong. Sonic the Hedgehog is responsible for a decent portion of my,
Yeah.
gaming past. But
That's in the past.
yeah,
But anyway,
that's where I like to leave it.
sort of celebrating this momentous occasion, Sega released a demo, a playable level of Sonic Generations.
Yes,
Only
the game
when-
that you can tell I'm really fucking excited for.
You
The
see,
game that you basically said in front of when we were on with the pre-free special, and we had the guys from UGN on, and you mentioned this game Sonic Generations, and we all kind of snickered.
yeah,
And then we spoke about some of the gameplay footage that was shown off at E3, and I snickered some more. So,
well, I played
what are
the
your
demo.
thoughts? Yeah, okay. I haven't, so what did you think?
I think it's pretty much because they showed the classic Sonic level.
Yes.
What it is, and it does feel just like classic Sonic, like old school Sonic the Hedgehog back in the Mega Drive.
Okay.
That's exactly what it feels like. Even the music is the same.
Okay.
The overall design aesthetic is the same. It's pretty much everything that I wanted Sonic 4 to be, but didn't quite live up to.
Right.
Whether I will go out and buy it, I don't know. I enjoyed the demo.
I may download this if I can be bothered, and then I don't know. I can't help but feeling it might be a waste of my time.
Maybe. But it's only, 600 and something megs. So it's not even a full
I know.
gig.
I know,
space.
but still. Okay.
Doesn't take long to
No,
download.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Anyway.
Okay, it's fine.
But yeah, that's only available now for another 19 days.
Oh, I better get in there quick then.
Yeah, it's one of these time demos. But
Really? Okay. Why?
I don't know, because they don't want you hanging on to it.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe they think if you play the main thing enough, you'll realise that's all it is. Maybe that is all it is.
Yeah, maybe. You pretty much play the game.
Yeah.
Now buy it. You have to pay for it now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But no, I'm still like it. It's the nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It kind of
Okay.
reminds me of the old Sonic, which I enjoyed.
awesome. Okay, so Michelle, you've been playing something this week. What have you
Yeah,
been
I
playing?
haven't really been playing. I didn't play a lot of it, to be honest, but I've been playing The Last Remnant on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
God, you sound all posh
Anyways,
when you're recording.
Let's
the
let's
podcast.
stay.
Get
Let's
a
stay on.
punch later.
Yeah,
Let's
thanks.
stay on topic.
Yeah.
So,
But, no.
for people listening like me who don't play JRPGs, right?
People who don't even know what JRPGs are.
Okay, well, you explain that then.
Japanese role-playing games.
There you go. Okay, right. So,
It's a whole subgenre of
yeah,
role-playing
right,
games.
right, okay. Anyways, I kind of know bits about this game, and there are probably people out there who know nothing about this game. So, kind of maybe just explain a little bit about what that is, if possible. So it's
It's sort of hard to explain because it's so different to the normal.
Yeah, I mean, because like,
I mean-
if I'm not, I'll play like the last. The games I mainly play would be like the Last Remnant, Final Fantasy, Tenor Sonata. They're all
Japanese
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
there's
all-
a
role-playing
theme
games.
going.
it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
It's, I don't. To me, they're all the same.
I like the look of Eternal Sonata.
Yeah,
But other than that, it's just not my thing.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you
Tenor
getting
Son-
all the achievements.
Well,
Me.
you need to play it.
Me.
Well, you didn't have a profile back then. You need to play
I
through
see.
it again on your profile
Yeah.
if you want to get the achievements. There you go. That's an incentive enough for you to play it again.
Okay, that's out there.
But-
on the internet.
I think the only thing different with this, I think when it first came out, there were a lot of
You received a lot of...
there were a lot of things said about the battle sequences in it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was a lot more confusing.
Right.
That some people said it was a lot more confusing to other games. There's a lot more on screen when you get.
So I definitely wouldn't play this.
No,
Okay.
no.
I have seen bits and
You can't
pieces
play.
of it. Yeah.
But it kind of like, it utilises the Unreal 3 engine.
Yep.
Obviously developed in Japan. It didn't
But
have a lot
poorly.
of... Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they kind of... You felt very much that they were given the engine but not given too much info or too much help.
Yeah, not enough
using it and
knowledge about how
utilising
to
it.
use it. Yeah. Okay.
So it has like certain technical limitations. But I think even though it suffered with that, with like the reviews and stuff, they said the overall game and story and all that is pretty good.
Awesome.
And it does try and do something different, which I applaud. It's a pity that it didn't work better.
Yeah.
And looking back on it now, there's been no title updates or anything for it,
Mm.
no patches. It
No.
hasn't been fixed. It's one of those things where I imagine where you could probably go back and patch a few bits of it to make it run a bit better, and it would have been all right. But as it says, it's a flawed bit of history, really, of them trying to do something different, and it's a shame that it didn't work out because it
Yeah.
could have been good.
Because I think, to be honest, when I first played it a few years ago, I got so far,
Yeah,
and then because obviously I didn't really know what I was doing, it got to a certain point where I couldn't actually do anything because I had to be further back and level up and.
yeah. There's not so much of a learning curve as a learning wall.
Alright, got
Well,
it.
no, because there was like, you get so far, and then I found out there were certain things that I should have used, which I sold and shouldn't have done, which I should have been a level which I was nowhere near. So I
Yeah,
ended up deleting the game and trying to start again.
That sucks. Why would they?
And
do
I was on
that?
the second disc, so I was like,
No, that would have been. I would have snapped the disc
Yeah.
at that point. I think
it's kind of. I think it's the whole Japanese convention of games. I mean, the way they develop games and how that they have their very own sort of thing, and it's almost kind of steering them into the ground, really. The fact that they won't break from convention, whereas Western games are trying to broaden their appeal, do more things, kind of mix everything. Japanese RPGs are very much set in their ways.
Right. Okay.
To the point now where sort of linearity is taking over. But that's enough of that.
but I think.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah, but I'm not like, to be honest, I'm not like you in the fact that with most games like Last Remnant, I'll do it off my own back. You will sit through and find all the walkthroughs and best things.
Yeah, because I want to know what I'm doing. Especially a game like Last Remnant, where it doesn't really tell you what you're doing. I'm like,
That's
what
true.
the fuck's
To be
going on?
honest, that was like, because I would probably have got further if you have to make certain choices to get certain
And-
places on the battlefield and getting certain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very but can we just kind of make one thing clear? Okay, you didn't go through and look through all the guides and everything, but you did make me sit at the computer and look through the guides for you.
Once, because I was really stuck.
Yeah.
That was once.
Yeah.
Okay then. So,
But good game. It's a good game. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the story. I could happily play it.
I mean, this game's a few years old now, so
Yeah.
it's probably quite affordable to pick up now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if
You-
you're into this kind of like game, would you recommend it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
would you
But-
say,
but the
or would
thing
you
is,
say
as
no?
long
There's
as you're-
something much better out there. Go get that.
I think there is probably something a lot better out
There
there.
is better there. But
But I think now that if you play it like the second time and you leave it a few years and you go back to it and you don't really pay attention to other details and like you look at things like Final Fantasy and the graphics and stuff and then you go back to the Last Remnant and stuff and it's just it's just like rather slow loading and
yeah, despite the technical limitations, it is a nice looking game.
Yeah.
And it's well acted, and the story seems to have some depth in it, which is kind of a novelty for Japanese RPGs.
Yeah.
But all the guys still look like girls.
Awesome. Right. Okay. Well, I guess it leaves us with what I've been playing this week. So
Have we got time to talk about
Yeah,
that?
just about. Oh, it's going to take a while. No, I did briefly put Duke Nukem Forever back in my Xbox, and
Until the gag reflex kicked in.
I think I kind of got about another hour into it and felt like why am I doing this to myself? I spoke about it last week. It's not a great game.
how long have you been waiting for this game?
Well, I've not been that fussed about it, but until it's been 14 years in the making.
Yeah, I think it was first announced
97.
97.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's yeah.
So well over half your life.
Yeah.
It's shocking, really, and basically speaking, it's the one thing that really pissed me off actually, just playing an hour's worth of it, is that some of the. I don't want a game to hold my hand and say this is the puzzle, this is how you do it, here's where you go next, here's what you got. That's the stuff that you figure out, right? But some of the stuff in this game is just so ridiculously,
obtuse.
Yeah, it is a little bit, and then like when you fail at stuff, and you've literally spent the best part of 3 minutes waiting for something to load. Because the load times on this game suck.
Yeah,
big time. Really, really are long load times.
About a third of the time I was playing it was loading.
Yeah, exactly. And then you try something, you die. Okay, that's how I don't do it.
You get a very big chance when you get attacked to actually sort anything out. It's like you're gone within the first 2 seconds of something attacking.
Yeah, and then you have to wait 3 fucking minutes for it to load again.
Yeah, you have enough time to go get a cup of tea and put the laundry on and do some dishes.
Exactly.
Write an autobiography.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the load times are ridiculous. So, I mean, I've not installed it because I don't plan to be playing it for much longer. I
feel dirty enough.
Yeah, and I do want to finish it just to say that I have done it. But
it's
to be fair, I've got LA Noire that I haven't finished yet, and I'm quite away from that.
Good game.
Yeah, it's a good game, and I've started, which I'm now going to talk about, a game that comes out today, Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah,
and because I was in 2 months where to pick this game up last week, and I mentioned I may be talking about it this week, but I have gone and got it, and yes, it's better than Duke Nukem Forever, which doesn't take much. This is the new game from Suda51, who is responsible for Killer 7 and No More Heroes.
Yeah,
and I think
I played the demo of that for PS3.
Yeah, and I think
it's weird.
Fatal Frame 4, anyway, it doesn't matter. So Shadows of the Damned is a game where it's a third-person kind of shooter, which kind of it isn't. There's a bit more than that going on, but you play a character called Garcia Hotspur. Which is fucking A, an awesome name, and B, it sounds like a porn star. Yeah. But that's kind of fits with the whole ideas and aesthetic behind the game, because it's quite cinematic and there's a lot of dick jokes. So it kind of works, okay? So basically you are this demon hunter with this awesome name, and essentially the story, not there's much of it, but the story is that your girlfriend gets possessed by demons and
I hate it
gets dragged down to the demon underworld, and you have to go after her and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty much Mario.
Yeah.
But what it does is you have this companion with you called Johnson, right? Which is it's so fucking bizarre, right? This game, but it's so awesome at the same time. It's a floating skull, right?
Yeah, I like floating skulls.
Yeah, it's floating skull, but he can turn into a motorbike or a torch or a gun.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, pretty much turn into all kinds of shit, but so he's basically your weapon throughout the whole game.
Do you have a life raft in there? Nope. I've got a motorcycle.
You joke, but yeah. It sounds weird, and it is basically a shooter, and it uses the Unreal Engine, so it kind of controls quite Gears of War-ish. You can dive forwards and backwards in any direction to kind of dodge attacks and things like that. And yeah, you get certain enemies and stuff who you have to use certain weapons and attacks and stuff on and all that kind of stuff. But it's so bizarre. And this your sidekick, or whatever you want to call him, has this insanely kind of very posh British accent, which just makes it even funnier when he's delivering these crazy lines and stuff. It's hard to know. I can see a lot of people not liking it because it is so weird and out there, and it's kind of, when you boil it down, it is a third person kind of shooter, but some puzzles in there. There's interesting use of
Johnson,
yes. No, light and dark in the game. Whereas if you can have certain vortexes and things open up, and if you go into the darkness, your health gets drained, and you have to get out and use certain things to survive in the darkness, and you can only solve certain puzzles when you're in the darkness. So you're vulnerable, but you have to. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Like some of the stuff, the ideas behind it. Strawberries. There's strawberries are used in the game in an interesting way. Like,
in a sort of no, I won't go there.
not in a sexual way.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's.
Oh no, that's ping pong.
I'll pretty much leave it there because you're wondering what's going on with the strawberries. But
no, to be quite honest, I kind of want to borrow this off you.
It is actually kind of. I mean, not very far into it. I just started playing it today, but it is a lot of fun so far. And if you saw if I pick up any kind of third-person shooter, I'll play it and I'll be like, yeah, okay, great. But there's so much more interesting things going on in this game, and little tiny gameplay tweaks, and some of the dialogue isn't great, but some of the jokes in there are kind of funny, and little nods here and there to certain things. And it could probably be a lot better. I'm sure that it may. I can see potentially this game getting a little bit monotonous, but it's fun at the moment, and I'm enjoying it. And it just seems kind of like taking old ideas and kind of adding new little tweaks and twists on them and stuff. So it's pretty cool,
Alright, it's cool.
And
like I said, I played a demo for No More Heroes, and I've seen a bit of that, and that sort of had the same. It sounds similar sort of weirdness. That was kind
very
of
strange. Yeah, I played a bit too.
Yeah, that was kind of sort of No More Heroes meets Kill Bill type.
Yeah, this is
bizarreness.
It's hard to really put your finger on exactly what this game is.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of made it stand out from a lot of other stuff, but also maybe done it a slight disservice because I think a lot of reviewers have probably not got it and not really kind of been like, what the fuck is this? And that's kind of perhaps given them a slightly negative review. So the reviews have been a bit mixed on this game, but I think overall most people are pretty much enjoying it. So
okay.
I'm hoping I can. I mean, I'd rather finish this than Duke Nukem Forever, so I may be talking more about this next week. And
you have this sort of, I'm going to call it the Medal of Honor complex, where you have to get the worst games and you have to sit through and complete them.
Maybe that's the next Game Night Live. We should just play the worst fucking games ever.
Yeah.
No, okay. So, Shadows of the Damned, pretty awesome so far. I'm loving it. It's very. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of phallic humour in there, like kind of just knob gags, and it's. I'm not sure why, but
I like a good knob gag.
There's a quote. If you wanted one. Okay, no, but it is pretty interesting, and not going to be for everybody, but it's definitely the most interesting game that's come out for a little while. So
awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good, worthwhile. So we are going to take a quick break in a minute.
Yep.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about this week's gaming news, and there's quite a bit of it. But first, going to mention our friends over at the Underground Geek Network. They haven't got a promo for us this week because they didn't do a show this week. They're doing shows every 2 weeks now. Bi-weekly, yes. And so, therefore, we won't be having promos from them very often. Well, we will be having them, but bi-weekly, basically. So, we just want to give them a quick plug. Explain their podcast to us, James. For anyone out there who has heard this show before, but hasn't taken the leap into listening to the Underground Geek Network.
Are you a geek, a nerd, an outcast, an outsider? Do you like comic books? Do you like video games? Do you like anime? You'll probably like this show. It's got a little bit of everything in there for you. It is kind of the place to go if you're into the geek lifestyle. As the name suggests, the Underground Geek Network, where underground geeks can network.
That's awesome. I think they should actually pay for that. That's fucking cool. So, their show's really cool. It's now out every 2 weeks, but it's a lot of fun, and they're doing a really good show, and making it better and better every week. And I enjoy listening to it. We're avid listeners ourselves, and I'm actually hoping to get everybody from that show on our show at some point very soon.
And we're hoping to be on their show.
That'd be great. They haven't asked us yet, so we're just kind of twiddling our thumbs waiting for that invite. But anyway, so
we're British. We can just hijack it.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Anyway, so Underground.
They can do a whole "the redcoats are coming" joke. That'd be great.
All right, okay. Undergroundgeeknetwork.com if you want to check out their website. Subscribe to them on iTunes. Search for them on there. Underground Geek Network. Their Twitter is UGeek Network, and you can also check them out on Facebook. I don't have their URL, so just search for them.
Yeah.
So, okay, awesome. Right, taking a quick break. Back soon. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. News. We're going to talk about this week's gaming news and what we got.
Yeah, well, big story of E3 was like the Battlefield 3 gameplay and how it was only
pretty
shown.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was only shown on the PC though.
Yeah.
The console version has been shown. It was shown on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He played a bit of it.
Mm.
We've both seen the footage of it.
Yes.
And I have to say it looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But they have stated that whereas the PC version will run at like the full 60 frames per second,
yep,
console versions will be locked at 30.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as I suspected.
Yeah.
This is my biggest... And the thing is, a lot of people will be like, what's the big deal? But here is the big deal. When you've got a game that looks that photorealistic, those doubling the frames for frame rate like per second makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
In terms of how real it looks, how you know what I mean. Like Call of Duty is going to be 60 frames per second.
Yeah, but compared to Battlefield 3, it will look like gash.
It does look slightly gash in comparison, but
it's
I do
kind of
like
where
the
do you
frame
draw
rate.
where do you draw the line between performance and graphical fidelity? It's kind of an interesting one. I mean,
it's part of the scaling down of the engine, and to get the game looking that good, they've obviously got to lock it down at 30 frames.
I mean, we did notice, although the game looked good, scaled down to the consoles and everything, there were like certain things like pop-in. Did you notice?
Yeah, a little bit. Not
it's not a huge amount.
Yeah.
Nothing game-breaking. Nothing too distracting and all that.
It looked pretty fucking amazing, to be honest. And
I think
I'm
if it
not
was
going to be that fussed about the frame rate, but I would have really preferred it to be 60 frames. Obviously.
Yeah.
Not really shocking though,
dude.
to be fair. I mean, that is the thing. That's the problem, because obviously DICE have made a big deal out of how good this game looks and the engine that they built from the ground up, Frostbite 2 and all that kind of stuff, and how all the big talk about the next generation of consoles, they're already started to work on them, blah 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 blah. You know, the PS4 and the next Xbox, they're already working on all that kind of stuff. They kind of dismissed it and said, look, you know, we are just tapping the potential of what these our current gen consoles are capable of doing. We're giving you that next generation experience on the current hardware, and yes, they are, but it's still there are still some limitations, and you know, to get the full Battlefield experience, you are going to have to buy it on PC.
Yeah, these machines, Xbox, PS3, they're what 4 or 5 years old now.
Yep,
probably close.
They're actually Xbox is like nearly 6 years old. Yeah,
yeah, but it's only now that we're kind of like getting to that sort of peak performance. I mean, the leap in games over the last couple of years compared to the launch titles.
It's been amazing, absolutely, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, it still looks amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It still looks good. Yeah. It still looks better than Call of Duty.
It's still going to compete with Call of Duty. It's still going to sell really well. I'm sure it's still going to be an absolutely amazing game, but, you know.
In fact, I've seen a lot of people on my Xbox friends list who have been going back to Bad Company 2.
Yeah, which I haven't played yet. Yeah. I have it.
Which I imagine is in preparation for Battlefield 3. In fact, I've talked to one of them and he said, he's gone back to it just to sort of get ready and gear himself up for Battlefield 3.
I need to play that as well. Shit.
That's 51 games.
Yeah, forgot about that one.
Yeah.
So, you know, it does bring up the interesting argument there, you know, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, maybe frame rate is only something that a small amount of gamers will notice. Bad graphics is something that everybody will notice. So,
I mean, same thing. I mean, obviously, not a huge fan of the war games and everything. I will play this and I'll probably love this. But other games I do like sort of Mass Effect 2 and everything, it was an amazing looking game. That was only locked at 30 frames per second.
A lot of games are. I think even Gears4all is pretty much a 30 frames per second job. But yeah, it's I don't know. There's a certain amount of games that are 60 frames, and you can tell them they look great, and you know, and all that. But you know, I'd rather have a better looking game than a slightly smoother, running game. Perhaps.
Precisely.
I mean, let's be honest. Here's a fairly good example actually. On the original BioShock, you have in the options you can switch it to 60 frames from 30. But you then get screen tearing, and the graphic performance does drop slightly. So you've got the option, which would be kind of nice if they built that into this.
Yeah,
perhaps that's the way forward. You know,
on the PC you have like the sliders and things where you can vary it. Or it would be nice to have a choice on consoles where they did like two kind of
2 flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
two
you can
sort
have
of
the 60 frames,
optimizations.
but you get some slight graphical degradation and that kind of stuff, and and then you can have the great looking 30 frames per second version and kind of compare them and see which is your preference.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be the way to go.
Because when I was a PC gamer, that was my constant thing, was balancing out graphics and speed and all that, and I hated that. And that's kind of why I went into consoles when my old PC blew up, because I didn't need to worry about that, because everything's the same.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's you know, it's interesting, and you know, I'm sure it won't make a massive difference to people, really. You know, the fact that Call of Duty will be 60 frames and not 30, and this is 30, not 60.
I think the big news is it's been shown on consoles and it looks awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
that's all that matters. We were all worried, is it going to look like crap? No, it doesn't. It looks good.
Cool. I'm happy. I'm excited for it anyways.
Next story, Halo Anniversary.
Yes, I've read about this.
A lot of people looking forward to this.
This is interesting.
It's going to have Kinect support.
Yeah.
A lot of games are doing that.
Yeah,
now.
they are.
This is kind of like their big thing. They said, like, I expect more from Kinect, and a lot of like the mainstream games are getting the better with Kinect thing. This will be that. They've said it won't affect the core gameplay. You'll be able to play it like the old games, and it won't change in that way much, but it will be like an extra feature.
Basically,
we'll use the motion camera.
Yeah, what I read about this over Twitter actually during the week, and in some ways I was not shocked by this.
No,
but then in some ways I'm thinking, actually, Halo, this is a big deal.
Yeah,
this is a big thing to shoehorn into, you know, presumably shoehorning it into this title, and what is it going to mean? How is this going to work? What exactly? Everyone's mind's kind of slightly boggled by this, but like they've basically just said Microsoft made a statement saying it's there, it's going to have Kinect support, it's going to, like you said, not going to affect the core gameplay. Obviously, they're not going to need it. It's an optional thing, but it's going to be an addictive experience.
Additive.
It's
not going to be addictive,
isn't it?
No.
That's what I read. I guess whoever,
you must have misread it.
whoever tweeted that must have written it wrong, but that's what I read.
Yeah, but no, they've said it's an additive feature.
Oh, okay, fuck it.
It's
So
kind
anyway,
of additional.
Yeah, I got you. But what do you think this could be?
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea.
I don't think anyone really knows.
Whether it's going to be something similar to what Mass Effect has done with like voice commands or anything, or whether it'll be... They said it's the motion camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm
using. Whether there'll be some sort of like head motion thing, or bobbing, or if you have to run on the stop bot to sprint, I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, yeah, we get... I don't know.
In a way, this is kind of... Like I said, before the Kinect came out, I said it'd be cool if a lot of like the mainstream games had it where you used the control and had the Kinect features on the side of it. And Microsoft obviously are really pushing for that now. They're really kind of trying to get Kinect as involved as possible, which we will talk more later about how they're trying to implement.
This is one of these things, though. It's like, because I'm not a Halo fan, I'm now interested to see what this is. I may pick this up just to see what the fuck this is all about. It's crazy.
Well, the first Halo was good, and like you said before, you'd probably be willing to play it because it's like the first one. It's kind of like the opening thing, see where it all goes from. So, you know, this might be...
I may pick it up, we'll see.
Yeah. Whether it'll make you a fan of the whole series, probably not. But I enjoyed the
Interesting, the whole Kinect Sport thing. Yeah. We'll see. We'll keep people updated on that if we find out any more about it. But yeah, that's the next story.
Next story, we're talking about hacking and all that, how all these people got hacked.
This story again. Yes.
Yeah.
Sega got hacked. That happened after we put our show out last week. So.
Yeah. They've finally caught one of the fuckers.
Yeah, one of these little shits.
London police arrested a 19-year-old man boy.
Just call him. Let's call him 19-year-old little shit.
19-year-old little shit.
Okay.
From Essex.
Yeah. Shouldn't he have been out like you know, setting fire to cars or something and shagging on bins outside, like around the back of Tesco's or something?
Yeah,
probably sent to his room.
But anyway, he decided he wouldn't do all those fun things and start hacking stuff.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. But he's they've arrested him in connection with the hacking of the various gaming sort of websites and services and stuff, and also links to attempted hacks on the CIA, which is
that's big. That's a big. Maybe you should have just left that out altogether.
Having said that, we've all tried hacking into the CIA at one point. it's kind of, he was probably just slightly more successful at it, or part of it. But basically, the London police, they've got him, they're questioning him, they've conversated his computers, conversated?
Yeah.
They're conversing with his computers.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and sort of dig out whatever, but hopefully they'll catch the rest of the bastards.
But the gang that he's
Yeah,
to be with, they've said he's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah, well, they would.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
They're all, oh yeah, we're all in this together, and one of you gets caught, and no,
shit, no
knowledge.
There was a guy before.
And that's lolsec, not anonymous. It's another one.
It's interesting. I mean, I didn't see this coming out of the UK, really, but, you know.
We are smart people. Don't put us
No,
down.
I'm not
There's
saying that.
another guy that was done for hacking, and he's been sent to America for sentencing or something, isn't he?
We've got a holiday.
And a couple of weeks ago, they were like,
I'll go to Florida, then you can sentence me.
yeah, there were a couple of people arrested in Spain. They were,
Really?
they were obviously already on holiday from Spain.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
But, yeah, so you know they are cracking down on it. They're seeing this as a serious thing.
So this
It
guy
is.
just wanted a holiday.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
Can't wait to get to my hotel room.
Sitting there in Essex, yeah, I'm going to get a holiday arrested. Oh, where are you from? London. Fuck.
Awesome. Right. Yeah, no, interesting story. I mean, I'm sure it will develop a little bit more and we'll find out other details about it. So, once again, we'll keep you updated on that as the weeks go on. But yeah, so what else we got?
Next story, it's another Connect story.
Oh, bloody hell.
Microsoft has announced NUads, and not, as I read it,
Yeah.
UNADs.
That's exactly how I read it as well.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I've
Why the
been
fuck does it look like that?
I
Even though it's
don't
written down, you can quite easily set, like, it just looks like NADs.
Yeah. And the thing is, every time, every website that's reported the story, you look in the comment section, there's always some reference to somebody who's read it as NADs.
NADs, yeah,
It's the whole thing.
Okay.
But
Do
it's,
Americans know what NADs are?
NADs are testicles
So it's a slang, it's a euphemism.
for bollocks.
Yes. They don't know what bollocks are either. So.
They pull carts.
Anyway, so, yeah.
Oh, that'd be painful.
There's actually a story here, James.
Yeah.
Let's get to that, yeah?
Yeah.
We've said what it
Focus.
is. We've said the name. We've, you know.
NUads. It's an interactive advertising service for Connect.
Yeah.
Joy of joys.
This was announced some time ago that they were working on putting advertising, utilising Connect to push advertising to people. Now, the scary thing was, they said that, say, for example, somebody who's wearing a particular football shirt from a team, they could scan that without you knowing, and actually push certain advertisement based off of that onto your screen. Now, whether or not it's a scary prospect if it actually utilises that. They're just saying it could be done, not whether or not it's
So
actually
what
the
if
plan.
what if I'm wearing a T-shirt of my favourite porn star Jenna Jameson? what will that push in my face?
Okay.
I can see this technology.
Nads in your face. But seriously, like, yeah, I mean, this is what I've read a while back, and I've kind of thought, yeah, okay, whatever, you know what I mean? So, how is this? Is this going to be utilised in game then?
Oh, I don't know.
Presumably.
Basically, what they've said is the adverts will come up, and you'll be able to say if say you see something that your friends will be interested, you'll be able to say, "Hey, Xbox, tweet this ad to
Oh, got you.
my friend."
Bing. No,
Yeah.
actually, don't Bing.
My friend Bing.
So once again,
I think there is I think there is a video sort of showing how it would work, but I was too depressed and
you thought
to
it said
watch.
NAD, so you didn't
I
want to
thought
click on
said
it.
NAD, yeah. Yeah, especially not at work.
No,
It's
not
just-
suitable for work.
I've been in trouble for that before.
Anyways, so awesome.
Do you want an extension? Oh, yes, I do. My house is a little small. Oh, that's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, so does the story say actually about how anything other than the fact that this is what this is what it's called? This is no?
Yeah, probably.
Did you not read it?
To be honest, I find the whole point of advertising and shoving it down our throat and then trying to get us involved in advertising, it's like, yeah, I kind of...
Well, I presume this was to do with in-game advertising as well, a little bit. Like, it would be able to... I mean, the scary thing is it can listen to what you... Well, and they're not spying on us, right? That was the kind of the big paranoia when it first came out. But, like, Who's like, say for example, you're just having a normal conversation with somebody in the room, and it happens to be on, and it picks up on certain thing you say, and it starts going, "Yes, I'm going to put this."
Your girlfriend's in the kitchen. Hey, do you fancy a Pepsi? And the Connect will chime in. Try Coke. It's better.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, he knows. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, what? It's all just a matter of time before this technology launches nuclear attack on the Russians and all hell breaks loose.
Maybe.
This is kind of where it's going. We're getting to the point where technology is getting so smart, and if this sort of thing where it can work out what we like, it knows where to get us. It already knows where we live.
We're just getting Bing on the Xbox. Don't look too much into this.
Oh, no. It's
Bing. Okay.
No, I despair.
Mm.
I despair of the
Okay.
human race in
All
general, but I especially despair of this.
I couldn't care less about advertising, really. It's not going to pitch anything. Let's be honest, if it does utilise those kind of things, it's not going to pitch anything useful to you. I don't think. It's going to be kind of pointless shit, I think. Like most advertising is. So, anyway, next
Mind
story.
you, I did see like this cool like plastic tennis racket which had like metal grating on it with a thing. It's kind of like a bug swat thing. It's like an electrified tennis racket that you can hit bugs with. If I saw that advertised, I would pick that up.
Bing, where can I get it from?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, okay.
So, yeah. So there is the potential.
Make sure you don't use it on your NUads.
See, if it can kind of like gauge your interest in what you like, then maybe it will force pretty cool stuff at you.
No.
It depends how intelligent it is. Anyway, next story.
But nothing Jenna Jameson related.
No.
Anyway. Next story.
Next story.
Please, yeah.
Recent reports speculate that as well as the iPhone 5 coming this August, the iPad 3 is currently in a state of testing, ready for a pre-Christmas release, or a release just before Christmas. Now, you said...
Holiday season. But anyway. I said to you...
The report said Christmas.
Yeah, right.
The report is...
You paraphrase the report and you say holiday season. Let's
Okay.
not imply religion here. Anyway, I'll stop you there because the rumours are September launch for at least iPhone 5.
Well, they're not the
Why are
rumours I heard.
So here's the thing. Why are we talking about this? Well, because A, we want to, and B, it's partly because
iPad and iPhones...
the iOS devices are actually a valid gaming platform now.
Yeah.
And, of course, with, major upgrades and various other iterations of these products, the gaming is just going to get better on these things. So,
But I hear what everybody's saying. Everybody right now is saying, but I only got an iPad 2 in March. Why would I want an iPad 3 in December? Retina display, people.
yeah, it's going to have
Badass HD screen.
It's going to have the Retina display. It's going to have higher than 1080p resolution. It's actually going to have probably higher resolution than your fucking computer can handle.
Yeah.
So
I'll wait till Christmas.
it's going to be a fucking beast. It's going to have the an upgraded version. Well, I don't know anything about upgraded version of the processor, but it'll have at least the A5 processor in it. The iPhone 5 is going to have the A5 processor in it, so it's going to have more or less the same capabilities, graphics-wise and stuff of the iPad
But
3. So
is there going to be obviously a pricing difference with this then?
Apple are usually pretty good at keeping stuff fairly close, like as far as the different SKUs and models they've got. They don't usually charge a lot more. It depends how much stuff. I mean, after the iPhone, it's different. They can charge what they fucking want for it. But
yeah.
the iPad, they've got a set kind of business model there, kind of set pricing for it. So
the thing is, they won't
may
lose
not
much
change
money
too
because they
much.
know it's almost guaranteed people will buy this.
So
Even the
thing is
people
though,
who
is there
bought...
going to be the same problems there were with the first and obviously the iPad 2 with the screen bleeding?
I imagine not.
I
because
would have
this
thought
is-
this is something they're going to make sure it doesn't happen this time around. It's a better
Yeah.
display for a start.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it could have any number of issues, just like any other product out there. But
on paper, it
'Cause
sounds
it's just,
awesome.
Yeah.
recently there's been the whole hassle with obviously the problems with the iPhone 4, and obviously people have noticed a lot more about the iPad 2 and what's going to go wrong with the next one.
yeah, I mean, like I say, it could have its share of issues. You never know. I mean, that's the thing. Until something like that is out in the wild, it's hard to tell what's going to go wrong with it. But
That's why they've got it in testing now.
yeah, absolutely. But like, no, I mean, the rumours of iPad 3 were fucking. We've been out there since iPad 2's launch, basically speaking.
Yeah.
So we know it's on the way, and you know, Apple they love to just kind of refresh.
Make money.
Yeah, they like money, and you know, there's a reason Nintendo is shitting their pants because you know it's a viable gaming platform. Both devices take care of the whole handheld market really, and you know they now own a decent share of that. It's fucked because I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest. I mean, Sony Ericsson have launched the Xperia mobile phone thing, which is a gaming. You know, it's probably doing all right, but it's not going to be iPhone and it's not going to be iPad. And you know, Nintendo are kind of worried because of it. They see Apple as a direct competitor and not Sony.
Yeah, I mean the iPad. Okay, yeah, it's slightly bigger than the iPhone and everything, but it's still portable. You can still carry it with you everywhere, and it's going to have the largest, highest definition screen of any portable gaming device that's out at the moment.
Yeah, that's quite a big selling point to a lot of gamers out there. And when you take into the fact that you know it's got this awesome processing power and graphics power behind it, and that's like you say with a lot. I mean, even with the Xbox, we just happen the potential of what we can get out of that machinery, out of that hardware. So who knows what sort of games we're going to be looking at on this bad boy.
I mean,
you know.
See, at the minute, the iPad 2 pretty much does everything kind of like with various other apps. It pretty much covers everything. The only thing you want like a better display for is gaming and videos and stuff. Yeah. And, you know, so you know that that's what they're aiming for. They're not just kind of like releasing it for the hell of it. They're saying, right, we want a big chunk of this. So obviously they've got stuff in development for it. I imagine we'll probably see more like Unreal Engine. Yeah,
I like to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's interesting, you know. I mean, we don't really talk. We have mentioned Apple stuff on the show before. I mean, like with the whole thing with games for Apple TV and stuff like that. We never we mentioned it and nothing's really come up about it. But you know, it's still a possibility. You know, it has a decent enough process. You've noticed.
I mean, I love, to be honest, going on the App Store. I've got loads of games for the iPhone.
Yeah. We now you're a more vocal member of the team. We're going to be turning to you for like releases and stuff.
Yeah, because they are there at the end of the day. They're games. They're developed. They're put out there. They're priced. They're bought. They're it's a game. You know. It's So really, there's no reason why we shouldn't cover it, and it's on a handheld. So it's
not
it
only that,
up there with DS games and stuff.
Building up a huge library. I mean, there's like retro games and stuff like.
And I think the good thing about it is like, for instance, I'll be playing Tap Tap Revenge.
Yeah.
And I can go online and play against other people online.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
It's just there.
Yeah.
You can chat
and it's your phone.
Else.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You don't have to get a separate device and carry it there and
everything's there.
It's your freaking phone.
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm always. I'm an Apple fanboy anyway, but like I do like to
really.
That's
something I didn't know about you.
No. But I do like to keep an eye on these things and like see where they're going next. And I don't have an iPhone, but I'm planning to get one, and I do really want to.
So do I. But
get some decent gaming on it and stuff. But iPad 3 I think is going to be is going to take if it's as good as it's kind of rumored to be. It's definitely going to be a big contender, and I think, alright, it's not going to have 3D, and it's not going to have all these other kind of gimmicks that some of these other handhelds have got. You could argue that they're gimmicks, but, it's going to have some amazingly fucking great graphics for a portable device.
Yeah, it still does well.
Everyone's impressed with PlayStation's Vita, or whatever the fuck it's called. Vita.
I liked it.
I like it too, but, I
love it.
Wait till you get an iPad 3 in front of you, and if that's capable of what it's supposed to be,
to be honest,
then,
if I had to choose between the two, I'd be with the iPad.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Vita's got a whole bunch of gadgets and gizmos and AT&T and stuff, but like it's
not in this country.
No,
though, that's America.
Yeah, but it's got all the bells and whistles. But does that make it better? We'll see.
What does AT&T stand for? I always thought it was American Tramps and Trannies.
Okay, so on that note, what else we got?
time for one more story.
Well, we just to wrap that up. We'll obviously it's another story that's kind of going to be ongoing, and until kind of September or holiday season or whatever, we're not really going to know what the iPad 3 exactly is. It's only rumour that we can base stuff off of, but I'm sure when it's unveiled, there'll be a big. Steve Jobs will be like, "Yeah, check this shit out," and everyone will be like, "Yeah."
I'll be in queue to get one.
So there'll be some game demos for sure.
Yeah.
So
Angry Birds HD.
Yeah. Well, you can already get that, so pretty much.
Angry Birds more HD
Yeah, it's gonna be cool though.
in 3D with physics and shit
Well, and shit.
and shit.
Yeah.
Bird shit.
Okay, right. So there was another story we're gonna talk about. Let's wrap that up.
Okay. Overall wrap up. iPad 3. Woot.
Okay.
Okay. Time for one last story.
Yeah.
EA is rumoured to be in negotiations to buy PopCap.
Yeah, for $1 billion. $1 billion.
$1 billion.
I had to do that. Interesting. I mean, let's be honest. PopCap,
They made a lot of money last year.
and let's be honest, it kind of ties into the story of a little bit of what we've just mentioned, because a lot of their games are on iOS devices, on Android devices, on
Yeah.
not just mobile games. They're also on like, Xbox, PC, Mac. Pretty much any platform that you can play games on, they've got their games on.
Well, I was like, Michelle, you know who
In
PopCap
browsers,
is, don't you?
Bejeweled.
Bejeweled,
Yeah.
Plants vs Zombies.
Plants vs Zombies,
Is that
Peggle.
Peggle,
Yeah.
yeah.
Peggle.
fucking love me some
And
Peggle.
they made like pretty high profits last year. So
Fuck yeah. I mean, when you think about how Peggle, for a start, is quite a few years old now, but when you think on that, it's been available on just about every device
Yeah,
you
I've
can
still
think
got
of.
I've got it.
It's so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
We've got it on our
you've got it
Xbox
on your
at home.
iPhone. I've got it on the Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good game, and Plants vs Zombies is amazingly good. We
You've
own
also
it.
got that as
Yeah,
well.
we've got it. I've got it on the Xbox and on my Mac. So like, it's just fucking crazy. But yeah, they make some pretty awesome games.
And EA has a habit now of seeing developers that are successful, making a lot of money, and buying them up into the family.
And the thing is, like, I don't know whether it's perhaps through PopCap's kind of not being bothered about it or something, but I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner,
yeah,
because they've been making waves for a lot of years now, and they make a lot more puzzly kind of games. I mean, Plants vs Zombies is kind of like a tower defense type game, but
Yeah.
it's
but like Bejeweled and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just announced Bejeweled 3 is coming to pretty much everything.
yeah, I've already got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So-
It's good stuff.
So yeah, well, we know that's going to be. It's obvious. I think maybe they were just kind of waiting, sort of saying, "Yeah, we can get more money."
Yeah, I mean,
For
I
us.
think like it's kind of cool that EA are taking the interest, but what does it mean? What does it mean for PopCap? What does it mean for EA? Obviously, it means money for EA, but they're going to have a bigger budget to make games with. I mean, they're going to have more money pumped into the company.
Well, the big
or
thing-
is it going to be sort of
Well,
you know,
I can talk from my experience of like EA and stuff. Is like when they bought BioWare and stuff, and
Yeah.
obviously everybody's like, "Oh, they're going to sell it. Oh, they're going to do this." There has been an element of that with the DLC. I will not lie. It's because
Yeah.
of BioWare fan I am. There is certain you can tell certain EA douchiness with DLC and all that. But what it has done is, and BioWare have said this, is they've had access now to all the other teams and companies that EA owns. So they've been able to outsource certain things
that's kind of
and get extra development.
But when you
and
look at
stuff
the
and
little
like that.
games that PopCap make, though, are they really going to need to outsource anything? I mean, it depends on what they're working on next. Maybe they could work on a fucking FPS that's got amazing graphics. But do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, is that likely? Probably not. I mean, it's not what they do. So I think it's because obviously EA are interested because they're making money and their games are on every device out there. But I don't know quite what, other than getting $1 billion, what a PopCap actually going to get out of this kind of relationship. I don't know.
$1 billion.
$1 billion, yeah. Fuck it.
Make more games.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe in future Mass Effect games you'll be able to play Bejeweled as like a mini game.
Actually, that's kind of interesting. That would be something that
Sort
I
of,
could kind of see.
Yeah, the whole thing is there is
Yeah.
you could take those titles and because they're fairly sort of small, self-contained things, and you can push them everywhere and do whatever you want with them.
That's
There's
true.
sort of scope and cross.
Who knows? That could be partly what they're thinking. Interesting. So it's an interesting. I mean, it's rumored still. It's not really. Well, at the time we were recording this, we haven't really heard any more about it. So but we will. If anything does develop, we'll probably mention it next week. But that's pretty much the news for this week. So once again, we'll take another break. This show is running along. It's a long one this week. But we're going to come back with a new feature after the break, which is the top 10 UK game sales,
Yay.
and obviously this week's releases.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. This week we've had some interesting kind of sales figures. This is only a feature we're kind of putting in the show, but we figured it'd be nice to talk about what games are being sold in the UK, and we occasionally do allude a little bit to how well games are selling, and we the other week I think we mentioned that Duke Nukem Forever was actually number one last week, and that kind of stuff, and as shocking as it was, so it's
not this week.
No, it isn't. Oddly enough, and so it'd be interesting for us to go through. This is for all platforms, all software for all platforms, basically. So this is the biggest selling game.
So obviously you can tell like the cross-platform games are going to do quite well.
Yeah, they'll do slightly better. But so from 10 upwards, James.
At number 10, we have FIFA 11.
Not exactly shocking. FIFA's always been popular. FIFA 11. It's been out for a long time now, and it's still holding in there. I think Call of Duty got knocked out of the top 10 this week, so
yeah,
it just shows that like some of these games do hang around quite a bit. And FIFA is very popular in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes. At number 9, we have Dungeon Siege 3.
A game, I think, didn't we mention that last week?
Last week, it came out last week. I think it sort of started off slightly higher on the list and it's now gone down.
But, you mentioned...
I've just downloaded the demo, but I haven't got around to playing it.
Well, maybe we can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
So. Not doing great, but it's still in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. At number 8, we have Infamous 2.
Well, it's been out a couple of weeks.
It's been out a couple of weeks. It was, I think, last week it was quite a lot higher. Obviously, this is PlayStation exclusive.
So it isn't going to... Yeah, it's limited by the amount of people who can buy it, I guess.
I think most people who wanted to buy it probably bought it now already, and only a few will be waiting. But no, it's a good game. Still in the top 10. Glad of that.
Awesome.
At number 7, we have Dirt 3.
Okay, came out probably about best part of a month ago now, so about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And it's kind of shocking, but I guess I must have underestimated the popularity of this series, because I did kind of poke fun at it, and it seems to be hanging in there.
Yeah, I have heard some good things about it. It's pretty cool, so maybe try it out when it gets a bit cheaper.
Maybe, yeah.
Number 6, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not surprising, really, to be honest with you. It's a multi-platform game. It's on DS and all kinds of other little tiny excuses for video game consoles and things like that. So it's on a lot of stuff. So that's probably more the reason it's doing quite well. But
can I make a confession? I love it.
Anyway,
I think it's awesome.
So you're the reason
it's one of my favourite Lego games.
You're the reason it's at number 6. We blame you. It's a kids game. A lot of the parents have bought it for their kids and stuff, and so it's
very child friendly.
Yeah, exactly. So no real shock there.
And certain older women who like Captain Jack Sparrow and stuff. I know.
Lego figure
in Lego format.
See,
whatever floats your black pearl. Go on.
My sister, big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Okay. She bought this game just for that.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Number 5, we've got Brink.
Okay. Well, this is a game that's been out for about a month again, and I did briefly get my hands on it and play a little bit of it. But yeah, so thought it was all right. Not nothing special, but there was a lot of hype behind that game anyway. So we all kind of knew it was going to do fairly well.
It's done fairly well.
Despite some of the issues with the game, overall it's pretty solid and mixed reviews, but I think generally people like it, and obviously it's at number 5. So once again, cross-platform, PC, PS3 and 360. So
awesome beans. Number 4, LA Noire.
What can you say?
LA Noire.
It's it's all right. Thanks for that. It's he's one of the stronger titles out at the moment, and it's quite unique in its own right, and I haven't seen a massively over the top sort of ad campaign for this, which is odd.
It sort of like when it first came out, it was there, but now it's out. It's kind of.
But no, I mean, I think it's still it's
kind of sort of coasting on the waves.
There's still a lot of buzz around the game, and that eventually will die off, and it will kind of it will go drop down the list, but it's still doing pretty well. You can't argue. Number 4 is good.
Yeah. Number 3, Duke Nukem Forever.
Okay, well...
Don't expect it in the top 10 next week.
Well,
having said that...
It got to number 1 last week, but then again, there wasn't really that much coming out last week, or the other week, and...
people have been waiting a long time for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it is going to sell quite well. You've had people waiting 14 years for the game. Day 1 purchases alone, I think, will have amounted to quite a lot of money, a lot of pre-orders out there, but...
Day 2 resales. back to the thing. Yeah.
So, like you say, this will probably not hang around the top 10 much longer. I'd give it a couple of weeks, but yeah, I think it will definitely hit the bargain bin pretty quick.
Number 2, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D.
Now, this is the thing. Kind of shocking that it's not a number 1 because, I think it could be down to 3DS sales in general because obviously this would come out on, like, I don't know, whatever other console. Not that it would obviously just come out on a Nintendo console, but, like, if it came out for, just DS, it wasn't 3DS, and, you got that install base, it probably would have done better. Because obviously you need a 3DS to play this. So
this is an exclusive, and the fact that it is that, and the fact that they're not that many 3DS, the fact that it's still at number 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong, that's great. But had it been, the reason it's not a number 1, I think, is because of hardware sales.
Number 1, Zumba Fitness.
Yeah, what the
fuck?
So seriously, Zumba Fitness. I think I know there's a version for Kinect. Is there one for Move?
I think it's on everything.
Yeah, it's on a lot of stuff, and obviously Wii, I'm guessing as well.
We tried kind of rationalising what is Zumba.
I can't really think of why this is number 1, and this was like number 4 or 5 last week. Even though we didn't mention the charts last week. Very strange. I don't know what's going on in the UK. Fitness freaks or something.
There's J-Lo in the ad campaign. If it's not her, it's a woman who looks a lot like her.
To be honest, I've seen ad campaigns for Zumba Fitness, and it's shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not very
cheesy,
good,
yeah.
but I mean, I don't really...
aerobic, salsa...
Yeah, it's I don't get why this is number 1. It's very confusing to me.
I'm sticking with my theory that there's one guy out there who really likes this game.
Maybe.
And bought lots of copies of it.
It's very confusing to me, but hey, it's number 1, so it's the number 1 game of the past week, I should say.
I know what it is.
It'll be at the top
I know exactly why this is number 1.
Okay.
There's been some mix-up with barcodes. People have been wanting to go out and buy Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and half the barcodes have said Zumba Fitness, so they've been charged for that instead.
Okay, maybe.
That's what's happened.
Maybe. It just seems odd that is beating Ocarina of Time 3D. I'm just saying,
It's
not what I expected to see.
Shameful.
Yeah. So we'll be back with some more chart news next week.
Yeah.
What games have we got coming out this week?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where these place on the chart.
Yeah.
This week we have Fear 3.
Yeah, once again, I think I mentioned it the other week or whenever. This franchise should be something that I really enjoy, but I've not really ever picked it up or I played demos and stuff and thought, but it's a first person shooter with horror elements. I mean, fuck, it does sound like my kind of game, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never played it, so other than demos and stuff, not been too bothered. And this game's been a little while in the making, and a lot of hype around it, etc., etc. But
I've heard it doesn't look that much better than the second one.
Really?
Maybe it's not the nicest looking game, but I've heard it is quite fun.
Well, I may pick this up at some point. I've got so much other stuff to play through at the moment that I'm not really that fussed about it. So.
Okay, next up we got Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, the retail version.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound enthusiastic about that.
No, don't get me wrong. I just think there's too many versions of this fucking game already.
I think it should have just stayed as DLC.
Yeah,
they should have marketed it as DLC.
Yeah,
maybe expensive DLC.
Don't get me wrong. Street Fighter 4 was awesome, but you had the original version, then you had Super Street Fighter 4, and now you've got the fucking arcade version, and it should have been an add-on. It was an add-on, but I guess you can argue that there's people that haven't picked the game up yet and don't have Xbox Live or PS7 who want to experience the arcade version, but I don't see this placing very high on the chart next week.
No,
even though it's multi-plat. I'm just saying
because it's been out on Xbox Live and PlayStation. It's been out there for a little while. You've been able to upgrade to this edition, so
not really something that I'm bothered about. Like we said, I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is probably more my kind of choice out of those two games.
Mortal Kombat
and Mortal Kombat,
especially as Mortal Kombat's had quite a fair bit of DLC and everything,
exactly.
Extra character skins and new character just released this week as well.
Yeah,
so
there you go. Anyway.
And last on the list is, we talked about it earlier, Shadows of the Damned. Yeah,
which I'm enjoying so far, and it's it seems like the sort of game that shouldn't feel kind of fresh and exciting and new and fun, but it is. It's feeling like that. So,
you just like touching your Johnson.
I would actually upload that trailer on Facebook. But you know, it's definitely something going on there with that game. It's just a little bit quirky and out there and different, and I just think, you know, it's something that not everyone's going to enjoy, not everyone's going to love it. Obviously the reviews reflect that, but you know, I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. So I really want to try and get more time on this throughout the week, play as much of it as possible, and hopefully finish. I'd love to finish it by next week, but there's no guarantees there. But you know, I will talk more about it next week.
Awesome.
But that's out today, yeah, so cool beans.
Well, that's pretty much all the cool stuff.
Yeah, so we need to wrap up because this show's running long. But it's cool, we don't mind. It's all good and fun and entertaining. So thank you very much for listening. We want to thank you for downloading the show. Please support us by, you know, following us on Twitter and Facebook. That's twitter.com/Games4all, facebook.com/Games4all podcast. And obviously check out the website. We've got more episodes and videos and extras and stuff on there, Games4allpodcast.com. If you want to email us or you want to enter the Uncharted 3 beta giveaway, that's podcast@Games4allpodcast.com.
Follow in the footsteps of the fan from Sudan.
Indeed, yeah. And so thank you very, very much for listening. Cheers for taking the time out to download the show. Please feel free to give us a review on iTunes because we'd love that. That would be sweet.
Make our year.
It would, indeed. And so thank you everyone for listening. Have a great weekend and we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, check out our website, www.Games4all podcast.com.
You can also follow us at twitter.com/Games4all or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Games4all podcast.
The Games4all podcast is brought to you in association with HostGator. For all your web host needs, check out HostGator.com.